It's just me and my white friend. He ain't white, he just light skinned. He sent the pics when we ballin'. Police come around, he gon' do the talking. No stalling in his credit score, awesome. Nah, for real, he got like a 720. Me and my white friend. Me and my white friend. Me and my white friend. Me and my white friend.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, world? It's your boy, Reggie Regg. To my left, I got my main man, Marv.
Hey.
How you doing today, man? My wife,
man,
friend,
I'm
Marv.
great, man.
Hey, man, I like...
Let's let the people know something.
What you want to let them know?
We have been putting out content, but we did take a little bit of break. I'm back in town. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, if you're an avid follower, we have been gone for a week.
Yeah.
Marv had to take care of some business back on the East Coast.
That's right, back in North Carolina.
But we're back
And
and
raise up.
ready to go. We got a lot of stuff's been going on since we've been gone.
The
main thing that's tickled my fancy,
Ooh.
because November's right around the corner. Yeah, bring that music back. It's this presidential debate. This presidential debate, man.
Oh,
presidential
my
and
gosh.
vice presidential debate. Marv, no, before you say anything, let's just give the people the clip.
Right.
This clip right here sums up the whole debate.
All right.
Vote now.
You're gonna pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't want
you're a
to answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question
You wanna put a lot
is
of
the
new
question
Supreme Court
is
justice,
the
radical
question-
left.
Will you
Who
shut
is
up,
your,
man?
Listen, who?
All right.
Will you shut up, man?
The reason I didn't say anything at first is because, one, I'm at a loss for words.
Uh-huh.
After watching that debate, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. I felt dumber for hearing that presidential debate. But I didn't hear the information needed for two presidential candidates.
Right.
I didn't hear the information because of all that bitching and bickering and going back and forth like that.
I will say
What a shit show.
I was fully entertained. I mean, like, this is the first presidential debate that I was able to watch, and I laughed out loud, like a true laugh, like watching a comedy show.
Oh,
like,
yeah. It was a comedy show. It was like watching a comedy show.
It was funny to me, bro. Like,
It was super hilarious.
I mean, from beginning to end, like, that's like I was really entertained.
And I know that all those people out there that were playing the presidential debate drinking game, I know y'all sons of bitches were fucked up.
So how does that game go?
I don't know. I mean, everybody has their own version, but, it's like if Biden says, drink for every time Biden says, here's the deal. Or drink every time Trump says China, or whatever, and so you have this whole maybe like 5 or 7 things, and every time it happens, take a drink. Shit.
Yeah, if you were drinking every time they interrupted each other,
and that was gone.
You would have been passed out the
gone.
first 5 minutes,
right? You would have been out of here.
So okay. Looking at it, we watched this debate. If for those of you around the world who listen to us and maybe you didn't see it, it was very, very interesting. A lot of back and forth. It was almost like, kids in high school roasting each other.
Right.
Almost like Trump.
Like, is he running for president again, or is he on The Apprentice? Is he confused that he's on set, or? His whole life has been a set. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Like, honestly,
I mean,
my point of view looking at it, you're exactly right. Like, Trump has been on TV since the early 90s, right?
Right.
So to me,
he's had money his whole life.
He's had money. He's been on TV. He's used to these presidential debates. Like, I mean, like, well, first of all, not in presidential debates, just being in front of the camera, like,
right, and talking,
right? So him getting in front of the camera talking. that's what he do, and that don't mean it's necessarily like good conversation. It doesn't necessarily mean it's making sense, but
right.
he's used to getting on camera and just going, and I think that's what happened at this first presidential debate. Trump got on camera. He was on some shit like, fuck it, I'm here. What's up, Biden? I'm gonna interrupt you. I'm gonna just bully.
Right.
I'm just gonna be a jerk and see if you get out of character. And he definitely got a character
like that. He came in knowing that he was gonna do that.
Yeah, that's what I believe. Like watching it, you could tell like his staff was probably at the right. Trump, all right, look, this is what we want to do when they ask you about Black Lives Matter. Make sure you say that. And Trump got on there like, oh fuck this shit. I'm gonna say whatever I want to say.
Right. They probably gave him a whole script.
Whole script. Yeah, Trump was on some shit like fuck all that.
They probably gave him
I mean, it was
here, Mr. President, take this airplane model. We'll relax you.
Man, like it was just a pure entertainment from beginning to end, man. Like,
man,
and then
not helpful to at all.
Like how much? Like honestly,
to the presidential or to the American people.
I don't think one question was really answered.
It wasn't.
Like when you really like.
I don't think so.
I sat down and watched it like live the first night.
That's what I'm saying. The information that is needed that you would typically say to sway voters, one way or the other, your way,
right? Right.
Or at least say this is my plan. This is how we're going to do it.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Politicians, they always have a plan, but they never tell you how they're going to do it.
I mean, I jotted a couple notes.
Most of them.
I jotted a couple notes down. Right. One of the main things that was on the discussion table was COVID. Mm-hmm. All right, COVID-19.
The response
to COVID and everything. And so, I mean, what do you feel about it? Well, one of the main things that the Democratic camp pushes, and it was kind of being pushed in both debates, was the president got the news January 28th, and we didn't see any adjustments or real policies or anything put into place until like March or something is what they keep saying. The president knew, he lied to the public.
Right. He wanted to make sure that it didn't get out of hand to where everybody freaked out.
Pandemic. But they're like,
it ended up everybody freaking out.
Right. They said they're like they're saying like if we would have known earlier, you could have stocked up on tissue. Maybe we could have saved more lives. And so, I mean, what do you feel? I mean, we're living through this shit right now. We're still living through this COVID epidemic all around the world.
Well, here's how I feel, and this is kind of going back to one of our previous discussions. Is that I think that politicians nowadays, both sides, politicians are so engulfed or so involved in their lies or themselves or their message that if they I feel like Trump and Biden, I feel like they'll say information or say their piece and lies are all through it, and the American people pick up on that, but they're acting as if we don't know.
So
I feel like they blatantly skirt around topics, or they misinform, or they leave out facts or whatever, and they expect the American people to believe everything they say. Well, we're in the age of internet. We're in the age of Google. We're in the age of researching yourself. The information's out there.
So off of what you said, how does that sway your opinion as far as what they're saying, what they're saying about COVID? How does that sway your opinion about what do you believe that we knew in January? Do you believe we knew further, more before then? What? Because you know me, know me. I'm the biggest conspiracy theorist person in this bitch. You know what I mean? So
on this flat earth,
right? I'm the biggest conspiracy person on this whole flat earth. So I'm trying to hear what do you think as far as
Well, from what you've told me,
and not what I told you, what
I know.
you saw in this, because we're talking about the presidential debate,
right? I
So
know.
what you saw, what you heard, and what you've been living through. Shit, we here in America going through COVID.
Right. Man, that's a tough one, man. I think that the response, because here's the thing. You see, right now they're talking about a second wave, and they're talking about, the rise of cases is increasing.
Right.
But you also have to think that, or realize that other countries are going back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
China's going back to normal. And I think that what China did was that the reason that where they are right now is that, one, if it was biological warfare, they had a plan set up and they knew exactly what they were doing.
It was going to happen regardless.
It's going to happen. They're going to get their people back to normal, and they had a plan for that.
Mm-hmm.
Or secondly, they contained the virus in a small section of China, because people have to understand China is a very large, it's a massive, massive landmass, area, so they secluded that one area, shut down the whole thing, shut down shops, shut down everything, which is what we did not do.
Too. We did it late.
We did not do what other countries did.
Yeah, we did it late.
I'm talking like no one in the streets shut down.
Yeah.
Like, you can't come out of your house shut down. I have friends in Europe.
Yeah.
I have friends in Italy. They couldn't come out of their house.
Yeah, you told me 2 weeks before we got on lockdown that your friends in Europe were on lockdown. I remember that. I remember that in February.
I'm not talking about like lockdown here was not lockdown.
No. It was you
no.
couldn't go outside,
Right.
nothing. And
Nothing. I feel like the response, I feel like there's, especially in an election year, I do feel like American politicians, or politicians in general, world politicians, everybody, I feel like they're in it for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe they might have good intentions going in, and we want to help the people. But at the end of the day, if you're in that bitch for 37 years as a career politician, or however long, what are you doing?
So, okay, boom. I'm glad you said that.
What are you doing?
So if we talk about hierarchy and seniority on a job, Biden has seniority.
Yeah.
He's been in the game for a minute.
He's been in the game for a minute.
So in my mind,
and his stances, his test has, people have called him out for voting on certain things.
Voting on certain things, saying certain things about,
what I'm saying.
saying certain things about black people.
Right, that's where the media is. That's where the media comes to play. Okay, the American. So Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that Obama,
Mm-hmm.
Trump, Bush, Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they have passed laws or done things to help people. I do.
And hurt people.
And hurt people.
Yeah.
You can't help everybody. There's so many people. People are thinking about their communities. People are thinking about, their neighbors. But if you think about the grand scheme, if you think about the big picture, millions and millions and millions of people, you have to be responsible for, or lead, or guide, and you're not going to make everybody happy.
No, you're never going to make.
Just not.
Yeah, you're never going to make everybody happy, and that's the thing about.
But you got to do the right thing at the same time.
The thing about the COVID is like,
because Trump might have done things to help people, but the media, that's what I was getting at. The media doesn't cover those things.
Yeah, and I would say,
or Biden might have done some good, but they don't cover the things that he voted on that help people,
right,
or hurt people.
Right. I mean, I would say that it goes both ways. Like, and that's with anything. You hear it about, like, with athletes, and they got all this money, but they don't give back to the community, and this and that. And but as far as like the president and policy, creators and things of that nature, first of all, we gotta understand that a lot of shit that affects us is local. right?
Right.
Your local elections, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, that matters more than anything because
state elections.
right, your county, your county is your country. Your state is your country. That's your land. You know what I mean? Like that's why
because
see
that's where you reside. That's where you work.
reside.
That's where you play. That's
right.
where you of course.
Right. Each
That's
state,
your community.
right? California, Texas, North Carolina, they're all different. They all have different regulations, right? They have different regulations on different things. So, when it comes down to really what's going on in your state, your county, your country, that's where those local elections matter. Now, when we take it to the presidential side of things, right, and we're talking about controlling the country, you damn sure can't make everybody happy, but you
can do what's best for the mass majority.
Right. You got to do what's best for the mass majority, not do what's best for the 1% or the 5% that, have this certain amount of money. And I can understand that even from the other side, you know what I mean? I'm not in that financial bracket yet. I will be soon. I'm going to go ahead and speak into existence, but I can get it where, you don't want to get taxed so much.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's how Trump paid $750.
Right.
That's how he got,
$750 in taxes. That's a true story.
That's
what I've heard. I heard the same thing
I've heard that, but here's the thing. Were we there? Were we there when he was filling out his taxes?
Right.
Or whatever? We don't know. We just know what's told to us.
That's
the whole thing. We just know what is told to us.
Yeah, and look, getting back on the conspiracy stuff, I didn't get to finish that. They say that Trump knew January 28th. Now you know me.
Yeah.
And I've said this on many podcasts.
That mug knew November, October.
Trump and everybody else knew November. Probably fucking soon as he said, I'm the president of the United States, he knew, all right, 2020. It's a wrap. It's
about to be going down.
Because, all right, let me get on this too. Let me go ahead and just put this out there. All right, you know me, and we talked about this too. This is what I believe is going on right now in the United States. And did I say this in another podcast? I don't know. If I did, fuck you. I'm going to repeat it again. Okay. In my mind, we're watching the United States corporation just go through a bankruptcy. Right,
that's where they're giving away all this money.
That's what I feel is going on right now.
Okay.
We're watching the U.S. corporation. If we look at this place as a business, right? Let's say shit went left the last couple of years. Okay, and
we thought we were gonna go right, but we took a strong left.
And so, just like any other company that may need to go bankruptcy to restructure, we file for bankruptcy. All right, we get all this bailout money, and us, the United States, what we get, we got what, like
$1,200?
No. I'm talking about like the whole country. We got like, was it like 12 billion?
Yeah,
17 billion or something like that.
I have to look at that. It was a lot.
It was like $1 billion or $1 billion.
It was
relief.
It was $1 billion. Yeah,
it was close to it.
Yeah,
a relief to spread out throughout the country,
right,
in different areas, right. And
but also some of that money went to pocket the senator and the Congress.
Any amount of money, like if you didn't do your taxes and you don't get that stimulus check, if you doing unemployment and you ain't getting that, that's pocketed. Somebody's pocketing that. Right. That 1% is pocketing that, and that's why they're making it so difficult to get the money for people who have unemployment or doing the business loan, the SBA loans, your PPP business loans. Like the most that they can keep in house, they're going to keep in house. Yeah. But, back to the whole root of it, I feel like we're going through bankruptcy. We're using other people's money to stimulate the economy again. Mm-hmm. I think COVID-19 is real, but maybe not as deadly as it's been portrayed by the media, like you going back to what you said earlier. Right. There have been proven reports put out that the numbers were manipulated in different areas, that some hospitals were, if somebody died from something else, if they tested positive for COVID, they said that the death was caused by COVID, so they can get more state funds for COVID prevention and the allocated funds for the pandemic relief. So it's a whole big old fuck fest of manipulation and mirrors and smoke and money being transferred and restructured and I really believe that's what we're living. I think we're just living through a bankruptcy, and we know one thing we damn do know about Trump, that he's the bankruptcy king. And before for real, before I knew anything about finances, I heard about Trump going bankrupt about 2-3 times as a teenager. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
he's been through it.
He's been through it. It's what the fuck he do.
Right.
Did you not get it? You got a stimulus check?
Right. That's because I filed my taxes. I'm not going to name any names.
Right. But okay, another thing so we talked about the COVID. That was one of the main things on the ballot, right?
Yeah, COVID, yeah. And I wanted to ask you this real quick before you get into the next thing. Is it has been said that Trump has been the president that has helped black people the most.
Shit.
What do you think about that?
That's where you really gonna go when I got black friends and family watching this, and they gonna.
I mean, we're not gonna lie.
They weigh heavy on my opinion.
I mean, are we gonna lie to them? Or?
If I keep it real, bro, like I don't know. Yeah, I really need to do a little more research on what the fuck, because to me, I'd be so locked in. Like it's a while ago, and I can't remember who. I want to say like Gary V's one of the motivational speakers I listen to. Les Brown, Zig Ziglar. You know, so years ago I was really heavy on that when I was like, going on changing my life and shit. And one of the things I want to say, Gary V says, like, it don't matter as far as like you doing what you do and becoming wealthy and becoming the person that you want to be. It don't matter who the president is. You know what I mean? The president can be, a fucking Ninja Turtle, but at the end of the day, I got to get mine. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, real talk. Now, to double back and answer your question, has he done the most for blacks? I really have no idea. Like, the only thing...
Because the media doesn't tell if he has or if he has not.
I mean, I know that I will say this. He did sign the executive order to fund HBCUs. So that's one thing.
That's something he has done.